So these are the steps. Put a sticker on the envelope. Step 2, put the envelope in the storage bin. Next, you fold the paper. And step 4, you put the paper in the envelope. Step 5, place the envelope face up. Step 6, seal the envelope with a large sticker. And 7, place the envelope in the storage bin. You see any overproduction in this process where any one of the workers is producing more than the next person can handle. Do you see any waiting? Is anyone standing around waiting for their portion of the work? Is anyone overburdened? You can usually tell because work is stacking up in front of that person and the person behind them is having to wait for their work to get done. If you look now, there's a new person that's waiting that previously was working really hard to get his work done. The average time per envelope in this scenario is 1 minute, 12 seconds.
Now, what's the first observation that you guys would see in this 3-step process?
The flow's horrible.
Meaning what? Okay, and explain how it's uneven.
Well, Paul is so ahead of the game, he's got a stockpile, and Leslie's just producing one at a time to me, so it's just a lot of unevenness. I'm doing a lot of waiting.
Okay, so perfect. So let's talk about Paul. Number 1, what's the waste that Paul's got going on? You overproduced.
Overproduced, right.
Okay, so then Leslie was overburdened, right? And then Ryan, what did you have?
A lot of waiting.
A lot of waiting. Okay.
Instead of stacking the envelopes and handing them just at one at a time, that helps us to see that the process is uneven. If you look here, you have 2 people waiting in this process. That's when a process is uneven. Whenever you see one person working and then 2 other people not working, you have an uneven process.
Okay, so all that said, now we drastically improve the steps. Now, looking at the process as a whole, let's talk about what's the issues with the entire process, the 3-step process.
Leslie's overburdened because she has the most motion to do, whereas Ryan and I, it's like, put a sticker on and we're done. She has to fold, she has to grab that, she has to fold it 3 times, put it in the envelope,
Right.
and seal it, and then Ryan just has to put a sticker on it. So between us 2, Leslie has overburdened.
Right, okay,
Probably
good.
want to add another person for this step, like maybe one person is folding the paper.
Well, no, we don't want to add another person. We're not adding employees. That's cost.
Yeah.
We add another person, that's cost. So we're gonna do, if anything, we're gonna reduce a person. Okay?
Oh, well, since Ryan is waiting on me, maybe he would take over some part, like I would fold it.
can do both stickers.
Well, no, we got to go in this order. We want to think this order through. Right. So first of all, let's. I want to just break this down into steps for purpose of learning. Right now, we're stuck with the 3 people. With the 3 people, how can we even this out? Because why did I ask you the last time to only make 1 at a time? What's the main reason I said that? What's?
Well, you're gonna notice the waste more. If he looks like he's working all the time, I'm just looking over there and just making an envelope after envelope.
You don't see any waste.
Exactly. But if he's sitting there and does one and waits for
That's right.
seconds, then
That's exactly what Ono said. So you stop the overproduction so that you see the waste of waiting. So now as a supervisor, you see Paul make one and you see him stand there for 2 minutes before he starts the other. That is the red flag of how you know that it's not even, okay? So now we know we have unevenness. With the 3 people here, what can we do at each step to help even the workload?
Leslie should just fold the paper. Ryan should put it in the envelope.
Okay, that's 1, all right.
I think because there was a lot of waiting here, just do the sticker. Okay, here you go. Now she still has to fold. And then so this station should put the sticker on and fold the paper, but then you would have to figure out what to do.
No, then Leslie would stuff the envelope.
Stuff it right, because that's more cumbersome to do that,
Okay.
and seal it, and then hand it to the 3rd person to put the sticker on it, and probably do a quality check because that's the last step.
Okay.
So
You're also going to do this.
You're going to be doing 2 processes. I have a suggestion. Maybe you only fold the paper, then maybe Leslie stuffs the envelope, and maybe Ryan puts on both stickers.
there you go.
Okay, Paul, go ahead. We should have been timing this, but we'll get a feel just by watching. Now, our goal would be that Paul and Leslie, well, our goal is that all 3 people have the exact cycle time. And if we achieve that, that bin would go away and we'd have just a location. And the second that he puts it in that location and moves his hand, Leslie's hand would come in and take it without even looking. That's exactly what happens in Japan. It would blow your guy's mind. And nobody, by the way, in Japan doing this is struggling. They're not hustling. They're evenly working at a comfortable pace, and everything flows like you wouldn't even believe.
If you look here, you can see how the weighting was reduced drastically. See how all 3 of them are working not near the amount of weighting that we have during the original process. In addition, there's no overburden. Notice how even the workload is. Now, with just a handful of improvements, they've increased the production 14 seconds per envelope.
Okay.
After another round of improvements, the group was able to reduce the size of the team by 1 person. They never stopped improving, they never let up and said that things were good enough. If you remember the original process, we had an excessive amount of weighting and we had one of the people on the team totally overburdened and overwhelmed with work. In contrast, you can't see anybody that's overburdened with work. I don't see any weighting in this process either, and that's with 2 people.
First time yet.
Yes!
Down with 2 people. All right.
Okay, what did she say?
You wanted to add somebody.
You wanted to add, you immediately, your very first thing after a year, nearly 2 years of lean was I want to add a person.
Yeah.
So you know what that tells me? I'm not picking on you. It tells me I failed. Because if nearly 2 years into lean, your first thought was to add cost and not remove cost, that means I failed. I didn't do a good job teaching these concepts. And that's part of why we're doing this experiment. Okay, so, and then, think about this. We're driving down the highway, right? Or driving down the roads and we see, a crew working on the roads. What do we always see?
See guys with his arms crossed like this, watching.
How many guys? You see, right?
I go to work and
Right.
that are working at it.
Right. So there's nothing wrong with teamwork and helping people where they need to be helped. Toyota does that. They pull the cord, right? They stop the line. Everybody goes over to help fix the problem and move on. There's nothing wrong with that. But help when help is not needed just adds cost. It's just a waste. So when we're working as a team and 2 of us are doing something that 1 of us should do, you guys heard me say this before, guys, let Paul do this or let Ryan, you don't need to be involved with this because if you're not adding value and really helping, all you're doing is increasing the cost, okay?